Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. My name is Julia, and I'm very happy that you are here today. Thank you so much for listening and spending your time with me. In this podcast, we learn English in a simple, clear, and practical way. My goal is to help you improve your English step by step. Today, we are going to talk about a very interesting and useful topic. The topic is how to talk about your daily routine for a better life. Your daily routine is the things you do every day. For example, when you wake up, when you eat breakfast, when you go to work or school, and what you do in the evening before you sleep. These small daily activities are called your daily routine. Talking about daily routines is very common in English conversations. People often ask questions like, "What do you usually do in the morning? What is your daily routine? What do you do after work?" So, learning how to talk about your daily routine will help you speak English more naturally and confidently. In this episode, I will help you learn how to describe your morning routine, afternoon routine, evening routine, and night routine. I will also share simple vocabulary, easy example sentences, and helpful tips so that you can talk about your life in English easily. And remember, a good daily routine does not only improve your English, it can also help you build a better, healthier, and more productive life. So stay with me, listen carefully, and let's start learning together. Now let's talk about why a daily routine is important for a better life. First, what is a daily routine? A daily routine is the things you do every day at almost the same time. For example, waking up in the morning, brushing your teeth, eating breakfast, going to work or school, studying, exercising, relaxing, and going to bed. These activities become part of your daily life. Having a daily routine is very helpful. It helps you organize your time and manage your day better. When you have a routine, you know what to do and when to do it. This makes your life more simple and less stressful. For example, imagine two people. The first person has no routine. He wakes up late, skips breakfast, forgets important tasks, and feels stressed during the day. Many things are not organized. The second person has a clear daily routine. She wakes up early, eats a healthy breakfast, plans her day, and finishes her tasks step by step. Her day feels more calm and productive. As you can see, a daily routine can help us save time, reduce stress, and improve our life. A good routine also helps us build healthy habits. For example, exercising every morning, reading every evening, or practicing English every day. When we repeat these habits daily, they become part of our life. And remember, even small routines can create big changes over time. So if you want a better and more organized life, creating a simple daily routine is a very powerful step. Now, in the next part, we will learn how to talk about your morning routine in English, and I will share simple sentences you can use in daily conversations. Now, let's talk about your morning routine. The morning is a very important part of the day. How you start your morning can affect the rest of your day. When you have a good and simple morning routine, you can feel more active, focused, and positive. Many people start their day with a few simple activities. Let's look at some common morning routine actions. First, most people wake up in the morning. For example, you can say, "I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning." After waking up, people usually get out of bed and brush their teeth. You can say, "I brush my teeth and wash my face." Next, some people like to do a little exercise or stretching. Exercise in the morning can help your body feel strong and energetic. For example, I do some exercise for 10 minutes. After that, many people take a shower and get dressed. You can say, I take a shower and get dressed for the day. Then it is time for breakfast. Breakfast is very important because it gives you energy for the day. For example, I eat breakfast with my family. Some people also like to drink tea or coffee in the morning. You can say, I drink a cup of tea before I start my work. After breakfast, people usually prepare for work or school. For example, I go to work at 8 o'clock, or I go to school at 8:30. Now let me share a simple example of a morning routine. You can say something like this. Every morning I wake up at 6:30. First, I brush my teeth and wash my face. Then I do a little exercise. After that, I take a shower and get dressed. I eat breakfast and drink a cup of tea. Finally, I leave home and go to work. You see, talking about your morning routine in English can be very simple. You only need to describe the activities you do step by step. You can practice by speaking about your own morning routine every day. Even simple sentences are very good practice. In the next part, we will talk about how to describe your afternoon routine in English. Now let's talk about your afternoon routine. The afternoon is usually the time when people are busy with work, study, or other important activities. It is the middle part of the day, and many people focus on finishing their tasks during this time. For many people, the afternoon starts after lunch. For example, you can say, I have lunch at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Lunch is an important time because it helps you rest for a short time and get energy for the rest of the day. After lunch, people usually go back to work or continue studying. For example, you can say, after lunch, I go back to work. Or after lunch, I continue my studies. During the afternoon, people often work on different tasks. Some people attend meetings, some people study new lessons, and some people practice their skills. For example, in the afternoon, I work on my tasks. Or, in the afternoon, I study my lessons. Sometimes it is also important to take a short break. A short break can help you relax your mind and feel more focused again. You can say, I take a short break in the afternoon, or I drink tea and relax for a few minutes. Some people also use the afternoon to learn something new. For example, they may read a book, listen to a podcast, or practice English. For example, in the afternoon, I practice my English for 20 minutes. Let me give you a simple example of an afternoon routine. You can say something like this. In the afternoon, I have lunch at 1 o'clock. After lunch, I go back to work. I work on my tasks and sometimes attend meetings. In the middle of the afternoon, I take a short break and drink tea. Before the evening, I finish my work and prepare for the next day. As you can see, describing your afternoon routine is very simple. Just explain what you usually do during that time of the day. You can practice this by speaking about your own afternoon routine in English every day. Now let's talk about your evening routine. The evening is the time when most people finish their work or school and return home. After a busy day, the evening is a good time to relax, spend time with family, and do personal activities. Many people start their evening by going back home from work or school. For example, you can say, I come back home at 6 o'clock in the evening, or I arrive home around 6:30. After coming home, people usually take some time to relax. They may sit down, drink tea, or rest for a few minutes. For example, after I come home, I relax for a while, or I drink tea and rest for a few minutes. Another common evening activity is spending time with family. Many people talk with their family members, play with their children, or watch television together. You can say, I spend time with my family in the evening, or I talk with my family and enjoy the evening. Dinner is also an important part of the evening routine. Most people eat dinner with their family. For example, I eat dinner at 7:30 in the evening. Some people also use the evening to exercise, go for a walk, or learn something new. For example, in the evening, I go for a short walk, or I read a book or practice English. Let's look at a simple example of an evening routine. You can say something like this. In the evening, I come back home from work at 6 o'clock. First, I relax and drink tea. Then I spend some time with my family. We talk and sometimes watch television together. After that, I eat dinner. Later in the evening, I read a book or practice my English. You can see that describing your evening routine is easy and natural. You only need to explain the things you usually do after work or school. You can practice speaking about your evening routine every day to improve your English speaking skills. Now, in the next part, we will talk about how to describe your night routine before going to bed. Now, let's talk about your night routine. The night routine is the things you do before going to bed. A good night routine is very important because it helps your body and mind relax after a long day. When you follow a simple night routine, you can sleep better and feel more fresh the next morning. Many people start their night routine after finishing their evening activities. For example, after dinner and spending time with family. One common activity at night is preparing for the next day. Some people check their plans, prepare their clothes, or organize their work for tomorrow. For example, you can say, before I sleep, I prepare my things for the next day. Another common activity is reviewing the day. This means thinking about what you did during the day and what you learned. You can say, at night I think about my day and my plans. Many people also like to relax before sleeping. They may read a book, listen to soft music, or spend a few minutes learning something new. For example, before bed I read a book, or I practice a little English before I sleep. After that, people usually brush their teeth and get ready for bed. For example, I brush my teeth and get ready for bed. Finally, it is time to go to sleep. Getting enough sleep is very important for your health and energy. You can say, I go to bed at 10:30, or I usually sleep at 11 o'clock. Here is a simple example of a night routine. At night, I prepare my things for the next day. Then I relax and read a book. After that, I brush my teeth and get ready for bed. Finally, I go to bed at 10:30. A good night routine helps you end your day peacefully and start the next day with more energy. Now let's learn some simple and useful vocabulary for talking about your daily routine. These words are very common, and people use them in everyday English conversations. The first word is wake up. Wake up means to stop sleeping and open your eyes in the morning. For example, I wake up at 6 o'clock every morning. The next phrase is get ready. Get ready means preparing yourself for the day. For example, I get ready for work at 7 o'clock. Another common phrase is go to work or go to school. For example, I go to work at 8 o'clock, or I go to school in the morning. Next, we have lunch. This means eating your lunch in the middle of the day. For example, I have lunch at 1 p.m. Another useful phrase is take a break. Take a break means resting for a short time during work or study. For example, I take a short break in the afternoon. Next, we have come back home or go back home. For example, I come back home at 6 in the evening. Another common word is relax. Relax means resting and feeling calm after work or study. For example, in the evening I relax and drink tea. Finally, we have the phrase go to bed. This means going to sleep at night. For example, I go to bed at 10:30. These simple words and phrases can help you describe your daily routine clearly in English. Try to use them when you talk about your day. Now let's talk about some common mistakes English learners make when they talk about their daily routine. Don't worry if you make these mistakes. They are very normal, and with practice, you can easily fix them. The first common mistake is using the wrong tense. When we talk about our daily routine, we usually use the present simple tense because these are things we do every day. For example, some learners say, I woke up at 7 every day, but this is not correct for a routine. The correct sentence is, I wake up at 7 every day. The second common mistake is forgetting the S with he, she, or it. For example, some learners say, he wake up at 7, but the correct sentence is, he wakes up at 7, or she goes to work at 8. Remember, when we talk about he, she, or it, we usually add s or s to the verb. Another common mistake is using wrong time expressions. For example, some learners say, I eat breakfast in 7 o'clock. But the correct sentence is, I eat breakfast at 7 o'clock. We use at for exact times like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or 8:30. The good news is that these mistakes are very easy to fix. The more you practice speaking and listening to English, the more natural your sentences will become. Now, let's talk about how you can practice talking about your daily routine in English. The good news is that this is one of the easiest topics to practice because you live your routine every day. You already know what you do. You only need to describe it in English. The first way to practice is to speak about your routine every day. For example, in the morning, you can say, First, I wake up at 6 o'clock. Then I brush my teeth. After that, I eat breakfast. You can practice speaking alone, and that is completely okay. The second way is to record your voice. Use your phone and record yourself while you talk about your daily routine. Then listen to your recording. This will help you notice your pronunciation and improve your speaking. Another helpful method is to write your routine in a notebook. Write simple sentences like, I wake up at 6:30. I go to work at 8 o'clock. I eat dinner at 7. Writing helps you remember vocabulary and sentence structure. You can also try to talk with a friend in English. Ask simple questions like, What do you do in the morning? What is your evening routine? This makes the practice more natural and fun. Remember, small daily practice can create big improvement. If you talk about your routine in English every day, your speaking skills will slowly become stronger and more confident. Before we finish today's episode, I want to give you some motivation and encouragement. Remember, learning English is like building a new habit. It takes time and practice. You don't need to be perfect. Just take small steps every day. Talking about your daily routine is a simple way to practice. Every sentence you speak makes you better. Even if you make mistakes, it is completely normal. Mistakes are part of learning. Also, having a good daily routine is not just for learning English. It helps you feel more organized, less stressed, and more confident in your life. So, start small. Speak about your morning, afternoon, evening, and night routine in English. Practice every day, and slowly you will see big improvement in your speaking skills. Remember, you can do this. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and enjoy learning English every day. Now let's quickly review what we learned today. We talked about how important a daily routine is for a better life. We learned how to describe your morning, afternoon, evening, and night routines in simple English. We also learned some useful vocabulary like wake up, get ready, go to work, take a break, and go to bed. I also shared common mistakes learners make and how to avoid them, and we discussed simple ways to practice talking about your routine every day. Now it's your turn. I want you to try speaking about your daily routine in English. You can practice alone, record your voice, write it in a notebook, or talk with a friend. If you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and share it with your friends who want to improve their English. Remember, small daily steps make a big difference. Keep practicing, and soon you will be able to talk about your routine confidently and naturally in English. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.